things up just a little bit. We have a big crowd here, right? How many people is this the first PAWC? First one. Wow. How many have gone to 10? Number 10. 20? Any 20s? Oh, come on. Really? 30. 30. Okay, we got some 30s. 40? 40? All right. 41? Okay. All right, good. All right, give yourself a round of applause. Okay, this is the good part. And some, people say, Robert, do not read all that stuff. When you look at the nominations for the people for the George Washington Carver Public Service Hall of Fame, I mean, it is a pleasure to see what our colleagues have done over an extended lifetime of work, either at the 1890s or serving the same people that the 1890s served the communities. And it's really hard to cut down, what comes off and what stays on and so on. So I've cut it down. It's only 30 pages each, all right? Please shoot me then. But are there any previous inductees in the audience? If you could stand. I know there's at least 2. 3. All right. So, as I mentioned before, the award, George Washington Carver Public Service Hall of Fame Award, was started in 1984. And the goal was to recognize those who worked at the 1890s, who lived and worked by the philosophy of George Washington Carver, to be the greatest good to the greatest number of my people. And with that in mind, we set up committees and taken nominations, and it goes to the committee, and we have this year's 2 outstanding awardees. If I could have Dr. H. Drmelworthen come up, please. Now keep in mind, this is an abbreviated version. Whereas Dr. H. Drmelworthen has worked tirelessly to promote resource and program development within the Florida University system through her efforts at Florida A&M University, she has impacted state, regional, national, and international endeavors with her work and expertise. Whereas throughout her career, I'm going to call her Drmel, has shown a passion for developing strategies and best practices of community development with particular support of rural communities. She currently leads programming and support expanded food and nutrition, 4-H programming, COVID-19 vaccinations, and family, youth, and community development to the state of Florida and the southern region. Most of Drmel's work has been focused on rural communities and improving the lives of rural people. Her work and extension highlights her focus on program development and implementation and addressing the issues of food insecurity, leadership development, and conservation, to just name a few. She has also worked tirelessly to give to rural communities with particular attention on the rural South through her lectures, research, publications, community service, and engagements, and contributions to her discipline and profession. Her work has garnered national attention as she was awarded the 2017 Rural Sociology Society Excellence in Extension and Public Outreach Award. Throughout her career, she has focused on serving organizations that address issues of rural communities, such as the Rural Sociology Association. Jermel has been instrumental in the Ford Foundation-sponsored Southern Regional Asset Building Coalition. Her extension work and programming has highlighted rural asset building, rural health, rural community development. She is also a noted diversity, inclusion, and equity expert and has worked within the Extension Service to support inclusion and diversity efforts. Specifically, she represented the Florida Cooperative Extension at the Coming Together for Racial Understanding program and has worked with the Florida Coming Together for Racial Understanding team. And on and on. Therefore, be it resolved that individually and collectively, the participants of the 82nd Annual Professional Agricultural Workers Conference congratulate and present to Dr. H. Jermel Worthen the 2024 George Washington Carver Public Service Award and do hereby induct her into the Hall of Fame, given this 19th day of October 2024.
Good evening, you all. When Robert sent me a text message, I really was in a state of shock. Never in my wildest dream did I envision standing here. I have been coming to PAWC since we used to meet at the Holiday Inn, and my love and passion for this work and for the people of the region. I want to also acknowledge my better half. Anyone that has spoken to me for more than 60 seconds, they know about Charlie Carlton. I call him my true sidekick. My daughter in 2019, she became a part of this. She came to the meeting in 2019 in December. She passed in January. One of the things, and I'm going to be brief, and Robert can pull me by the side because brevity is not what I do well. But last year, I really had an experience that has given me a different idea and vantage point. I went into the hospital for an outpatient procedure. I ended up in the hospital for another week, went home for a couple of days, ended up in ICU for 2 weeks. Then from ICU, I went to rehab, where I was there for approximately 2 months. But I said that was God's way of saying I needed to also get a little bit of rest. It was like, sit down, servant, sit down. But another passion that I garnered from that experience is it's really important that we pay attention to what's going on around healthcare. I'll say it over and over. If the patient doesn't have sound mind and are a family that is committed and really cares for them, you'll be amazed at the things that take place in these institutions. And it's not in terms of neglect. They really are overworked, overwhelmed. I love the people. I love all people. And I've never met a stranger. And Robert also knew that if I had known, I don't know where you got all this information from about me. And my voice is starting to fade, so you all are spared when I look out and see Lindsay, that I consider one of my students also in terms of having had a chance. I also encourage those of us that have been around for a minute, let's mentor the younger people. We don't have to have our name on another grant. We don't have to be primary on another publication. But because of the times that we are in now, let us work with our young people. Let us encourage the young professionals. There are things that we say in terms of not really understanding. We talk about what it was like back in the day. The challenges that these young people are having today are so different from the challenges that we had. So we need to know and recognize what they're dealing with, and the fact that in many instances, their parents are children. So let's love them, let's embrace them, let us embrace the tenets of Dr. Booker T. Washington and Dr. George Washington Carver and go and be of service, because this is a group that I really do love, because I've been coming for so long. I've actually seen some of you all grow up. Thanks again, Robert. Like I said, I don't know how he got it, and my husband is doing the cutting, so.